Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Curse of Oak Island. The drill team finds a massive underground tunnel, bigger than anything before. The Curse of Oak Island team has found the largest tunnel ever excavated on the island. At an incredible 7.5 feet tall, the guys are convinced the tunnel must have been used to transport something large and important. The Curse of Oak Island Season 11 returned last night with Episode 3, with many more exciting discoveries. On Lot 5, Gary Drayton and Rick Lagina unearthed an old ramrod guide, a device used to push projectiles into a musket that could date anywhere from the 1600s. However, the most interesting development from last night's episode was regarding an elusive secret tunnel. The guys have been attempting to track a tunnel they believe runs under the garden shaft from east to west and into the baby blob, and they've been having enormous success. The tunnel lies just over 100 feet below the surface, and the team hopes it will direct them to a secret chamber where they'll find untold riches. Oak Island team believes the tunnel dates to mid-18th century. On last night's episode, Crate Tester received the results of carbon-14 dating on a piece of wood pulled up from 108 feet to the east of the garden shaft. The guys were not disappointed as the woodcuts were dated at 55% from 1734 to 1804 and 24% from 1656 to 1684. The team read this data as meaning the tunnel was likely constructed as far back as the 1730s, over 50 years before the initial discovery of the money pit, which the depositors most likely built. And what a tunnel it turned out to be. The drill team then set up their rig a bit closer to the garden shaft, but still on the eastern side, and again, they hit evidence of a tunnel. At 108 feet, they hauled up a whopping 7.5-foot-long wooden beam. Terry Matheson instantly identified it as an upright beam, meaning this tunnel was almost 8 feet high, higher than any tunnel they'd found before. The beam had markings which showed it had been cut by hand, maybe with an adze tool, so it was likely made before the invention of mechanical saws. The guys were absolutely blown away by the size of this beam. They asked why anyone would build a 7.5-foot tunnel at over 100 feet below the surface unless they were transporting a large amount of goods and wanted to do it in secret. The labor required to pull off such a feat in the mid-18th century is somewhat mind-boggling. Alex Lagina commented that he had only seen tunnels that size when visiting medieval Templar knight strongholds in Italy. Rick Lagina noted that they had never found a tunnel more than 4 or 5 feet high, and there was no indication of anything like this in the historical record. Oak Island guys will have to excavate the garden shaft to get to the 7-foot tunnel. The team couldn't wait to get a closer look at what was down there, so they popped a camera down the borehole, which soon plunged into the water and revealed nothing but a blank screen. Steve Guptill peered down the hole and helpfully remarked that he could see which, and it was murky. We'll all just have to be a bit more patient. Representatives from Deepens Mining Company informed the guys they should have the permits to start working on the garden shaft by the end of the month. Once the miners get their paperwork in order, they can start deepening the garden shaft and then hopefully begin lateral digging toward this tunnel, so we can all see what is really going on down there. In the meantime, Gary and the guys are bound to find more interesting stuff on Lot 5. Apart from the ancient Roman coins found a couple of weeks ago, they keep uncovering a selection of pottery and artifacts going back to the 17th and 18th centuries. The guys are increasingly convinced that the mid-18th century, around the 1740s, is the time period when something major occurred on Oak Island. The Curse of Oak Island had long captivated the imaginations of treasure hunters and history enthusiasts alike. For decades, the mysterious island off the coast of Nova Scotia had promised untold riches and tantalizing secrets hidden beneath its surface. Legends spoke of buried pirate treasure, lost artifacts, and even connections to the Knights Templar. Yet, despite numerous expeditions, digs, and countless theories, The elusive treasure had remained just that, elusive. The Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, had devoted years to unraveling Oak Island's mysteries. Each season brought new discoveries, new technologies, and new hope. However, nothing could have prepared them or their dedicated team for what they were about to uncover. It was a crisp autumn morning when the drill team assembled at the Money Pit, the island's most infamous and enigmatic site. Over the years, the pit had been the focal point of numerous excavations, revealing layers of history but never the ultimate prize. The team had a new piece of cutting-edge technology at their disposal, a high-resolution sonar drill capable of mapping underground structures in unprecedented detail. As the drill bit sank deeper into the earth, anticipation mounted. The air was thick with the tension of countless failed attempts and the undying hope that this time would be different. The drill hummed steadily, its sensors feeding real-time data to the surface. Everyone watched the monitors intently, each beep and blip potentially signaling a breakthrough. Suddenly, the data started to change. The usual layers of soil and rock gave way to something else, anomalous readings that indicated a large void. The screen lit up with a detailed sonar image that left everyone speechless. They had found a tunnel, but this was no ordinary tunnel. It was massive, far larger than anything they had ever encountered on the island. Rick and Marty exchanged incredulous glances. Could this be the key to the mystery that had eluded them for so long? The drill continued to send back data, painting a picture of an enormous underground passageway, meticulously constructed and well-preserved. The tunnel extended far beyond the Money Pit, reaching depths and distances that suggested a monumental engineering feat. The salty breeze of the North Atlantic Ocean whispered across the island, weaving through the ancient oaks and stirring the legends that had long clung to Oak Island. For centuries, the enigmatic isle had beckoned treasure hunters, scholars, and adventurers with the tantalizing promise of hidden riches. Many had come and gone, leaving behind a trail of excavated pits, discarded theories, and whispered tales of a curse that guarded the island's secrets. But on this crisp morning, the drill team, led by brothers Rick and Marty Lagina, was about to unearth something that would alter the course of the island's story history. The drill, a monstrous machine of metal and might, growled and rumbled as it chewed through the earth. The team watched in anticipation, each vibration reverberating through their bones, each chunk of soil extracted from the depths adding to the mounting tension. They had drilled before, many times, but today felt different. There was an electricity in the air, a sense of impending revelation that quickened their pulses and sharpened their senses. Depth at 200 feet, came the crackling voice over the radio. The team exchanged glances, their eyes reflecting the shared hope and skepticism that had defined their quest. As the drill descended further, it hit something different, something solid yet resonant. The sound it made was unlike the usual crunch of rock or the muffled thud of clay. It was hollow, echoing up through the drill shaft and into the open air like a ghostly whisper. "Stop the drill," Rick ordered, his voice steady despite the excitement coursing through him. The machine whirred to a halt, and the team gathered around, peering into the depths of the borehole with bated breath. They lowered a camera into the shaft, its lens capturing images of the subterranean world that lay hidden beneath their feet. As the camera descended, the screen flickered with shades of brown and gray, the rough textures of the earth scrolling past in a monotonous blur. Then, suddenly, the view opened up into a vast, yawning space. The team gasped as the camera panned across the interior of an enormous underground tunnel, the likes of which they had never seen before. It was perfectly cylindrical, the walls smooth and seemingly reinforced with ancient timbers that had somehow withstood the ravages of time. "This is incredible," Marty breathed, leaning closer to the screen. "This tunnel is enormous. It's unlike anything we've encountered before." The camera's light swept across the tunnel, revealing more details. The floor was littered with debris, shards of pottery, rusted tools, and fragments of what looked like old maps. The walls bore inscriptions, worn but still discernible, telling tales of the past in a language that no one on the team recognized. Could this be the work of the original constructors? Rick wondered aloud, his mind racing through the possibilities. The tunnel was too sophisticated, too meticulously crafted to be a mere natural formation. It bore the hallmarks of human ingenuity, of a hidden purpose that had driven its creation centuries ago. They decided to explore further. A team of specialists was assembled, equipped with state-of-the-art gear to navigate the mysterious passageway. As they descended into the tunnel, the air grew cooler, the silence more profound. The light from their headlamps danced across the walls, illuminating carvings and symbols that seemed to whisper secrets from the past. The deeper they ventured, the more they realized the scale of the tunnel. It branched off into smaller passageways, each one potentially leading to another hidden chamber, another piece of the puzzle. The walls told a story, one of lost civilizations, of treasures hidden to protect against invaders, of secrets buried to be uncovered by those deemed worthy. Hours turned into days as the team meticulously mapped the tunnel, their excitement tempered by the enormity of their task. They discovered chambers filled with artifacts that hinted at the island's mysterious past, chests filled with gold coins, ancient manuscripts written in indecipherable scripts, and relics that defied identification. In one particularly large chamber, they found a pedestal made of polished stone. Atop it sat a small, intricately carved box. With trembling hands, Rick opened the box to reveal a collection of gems that glittered like captured stars. Each gem was engraved with a different symbol, perhaps a key to deciphering the inscriptions on the walls. "This is it," Marty said, his voice hushed with awe. "This is the find of a lifetime." But even as they celebrated, a sense of foreboding lingered. The curse of Oak Island was not to be taken lightly, and they knew that their discovery might come at a price. The deeper they delved, the more they felt the weight of history pressing down on them, the ghosts of those who had come before them whispering warnings in the dark.